Hey everybody, hey everybody, it's your very favorite history teacher. Let me see your transcript. How y'all doing? Wasn't that Marcellus McMillan, aka Mad Church Disease? We were over there almost 3 hours in 5 minutes, baby. I'm just oh my goodness. I see a lot of mods in the room. Hey mod squad. Hey me to see. Life is lame, but I don't love Gail, Terry. Oh Lord, me. I'm just like, please hit the like button. Please share this. I thought we needed to have a Thursday night ladies night edition because I was just like, and I even asked the mom. I said, "No, I'm not sleeping. Rita, are you sleeping?" I asked the moms. I said, "Hey, Jacqueline Vines, I'm glad you're here." I asked the moms. I said, "I want to have an after show because I want to talk about what's going on in this chat." Oh my goodness. Hey, legit doctorate. Oh goodness. Roxanne head started hurting, so she had to tap out. Darren came in late from class. Marcellus need to eat, but I was like, I need to talk to somebody. Am I the only one alone on this? Just saying, what is going on? And I believe, man, Church D said, hey, Christine Park said, this is a show about church, not a church show. And you still had people come in the chat and say, was that you, Jazzy? If he had to go to work tomorrow, if I had to go to work tomorrow. Yes, Marcellus was on point. Yeah, me too, Terry Hughes. That K Renee was getting on my nerves. It was a couple of them in that chat was getting on my nerves. I was like, dude, you're the ones who have mad church disease. And you don't even know it. Or you don't think you're the one who has it. No, Marcellus is hungry. He really is hungry. But I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Let me take the little thing on. I was like, and he really serious about them reading people's comments because they've been saying some really crazy stuff in his comments too. But I just wanted to talk to people like, was I the only one alone? And when I was reading this, like somebody actually was talking about, oh, their pastor or oh, their evangelist or oh, their gave a real prophecy. And I just like my title of the post said, so you got a prophecy, but you didn't tell it. Like Marcellus told us about dreams he had. He told the 18th first, but he kept having the dream, and then he told people on his show. So he didn't charge nobody. Okay, hey man, Charles, you cook your food you deserve to eat, man. If we were in the same city, I would just Uber eats you some food so you wouldn't even have to fix your food. You would already have it to eat as soon as the show was over with. Because you was really working, and I saw the expression on your face because you were holding your face at one point when the people were calling in, and two of them ladies called back twice. We had to figure out how to stop that. And I could. Some of them, I don't know where they was. I don't know what kind of. If they didn't have the earphone on, and I was like, okay, I catching every other word. Oh yeah, money no love. That lady who said that, and she said, "Oh yeah, I had a dream that Katrina was coming support for," and it's you and a guy named Marshall said, "Yeah, the Weather Channel and the government told us 2 days before it happened." I said. Then some other lady said, "Oh, I've had. I think it was it Millie, 5757, or was it Misha Williams talking about she had dreams about I don't know if it was COVID or flu or something. To my, she had this whole big old long paragraph prophecy in her thing, and I'm sorry, I timed out and I removed it. I even asked, I said, "Are you being sarcastic or funny?" And she was like, "No, I'm being serious. I've had this since I was 12 years old." And I'm just thinking to myself, is that is God talking to you? Or are you seeing voices in your head? Do you need a 5150? Like, no. And I'm thinking to the fact of the whole thing was about Noel Jones asking people, like, if y'all were prophets, how come y'all talk about COVID-19? And there are people in the dang old chat who are literally saying that they had a prophecy about this event. And I'm just like, you didn't tell nobody. Hey, Miss MW50. Yeah. Oh, and then somebody talking about Gino Jennings, and I was like, I'm so glad. I don't know if it was me. I think it might have been Roxanne who got that person. They're crazy, and this is the thing: they don't know they're crazy. Then people who called you mad church disease on the phone, and I think it was one lady. I don't know if it was her or another lady. Gonna call into your show to invite people to some prayer. Like, we just need to get together and pray, and we're gonna bring. God told you to tell us this. He didn't say, for example, since we're technically in a plague, to wear our mask, to get the vaccine, or which vaccine to get. He told us to come to your place and pray. Didn't Mad Churches he say this is a show about church, not a church show? You called in to basically advertise your event. Little girl, you said you did what? What is the FH? Who's the rule that told me to let him finish? I don't know. Hey, Victor girl, I'm glad you can make it. Please hit the like button. Please share this with other people. It does help me with the algorithm too, like Mad Charles thing said. But I was just like, I'm glad you did. I saw your face. You started rubbing your head. I said, oh, he want to drink and he want to eat. He's so tired. I just like, yeah, marketing opportunity. Oh, FH is a fellowship hall. Oh, okay. Where's the end of saying that? Monologue, can you go tag understanding in the mods chat? And then yeah, the Gino Jennings. And I'm sorry, there's only one thing that I probably will ever agree with Gino Jennings on, and that's when he said, uh, all these people who are talking about who preached that God was gonna make Trump stay in the office, but then Biden won, and he said, God is not a liar. So you need to go ask Paula White and them, Kenneth Copeland, how come they got it wrong? That's the only one. That's the only thing I probably agree with him that he did, because some of his other things he says very misogynistic and very where's the button that you invite? Yes, okay. And I just was like, but Mad Chelsea, that was an awesome show. Hey, Leonard Taylor, they don't know the text. Hey, I just like, oh yeah, I want the comment show too. I'm thinking we probably should have been taking some screenshots just to what was in the chat. It's ridiculous. Okay, here's the link, everyone. If you want to come up, because I just like, because I was talking to the mods, I say, do y'all think we should have an after show? Because we were having our own conversation about the same thing that we were seeing in the chat. And I was like, we need to finish modding, but I think we need to talk about this. Yeah, he's very paternalistic.
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
sir.
Can you
Yes,
hear
I
me?
can hear you.
I'm
Yes, I can
downstairs in
hear
the
you.
kitchen. I'm getting ready to flour my chicken so I can fry it. So excuse me. But I had to call back. You guys, I'm trying to work on not cussing people out. So if you see me,
You were doing a good job because I know you. I saw you when you rubbed your head. I said
yeah,
he's really trying it tonight.
I'm
They're
just,
really trying him tonight. And
yeah,
I'm just
I was
like,
just,
you told them several times. I put it in the chat. This, and then someone else had said something else. I said, this is a show about church. This is not a church show.
right. And, no matter how many times I say it, it seems like certain people just are unwilling to get it, but that's because they don't want
Mm-hmm.
to. But I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
tell you guys, and I don't mean any disrespect to any of the callers or the people who called in,
Mm-hmm.
but let me be very clear. There are three types of people in the church: fruits,
Mm-hmm.
flakes, and nuts. And so
Oh
many of these
Lord.
people are nutty as nutty can be. You hear me? You mean to tell me God gave you a prophecy about the coronavirus and you didn't go stand out on the street corner or you didn't call in a radio station and scream it? So here's what you did. You
Yeah.
wrote a book. You wrote a book and you tried to
Mm-hmm.
sell the book. You wanted to make money off of the prophecy. So that's what you want us to believe?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm not buying it.
And why did
Kim, 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 Kim.
Roxanne, I thought you were lying down, girl. Terry Hughes, you were fine. I didn't need to fuss. You didn't do anything for me to fuss at you. Hey, where did Roxanne go? Thank you, Roxanne. She like go in and out. We need to figure out how to get her better internet connection or something.
We
She
done
just be
told her what
going
to
in and
do.
out.
Let me put some of this
Life is late, daughter
Louisiana
said it.
seasoning.
The cousin pastor cuz not tonight. Life is late. He was really good.
Let me tell you.
But I
Well,
didn't
the whole
understand. It was so many people were like, "Oh, Noel Jones, he's just mad because uh he don't have the money no more," or someone was like, "Oh no, he's been repenting. Oh, he was this and that." But then it was like when it came to or it's like other pastors, all those people are liars. But when it became their pastor or their evangelist or someone they knew, oh no, that person is the truth. And I'm just thinking like,
well, and see,
so your
that.
pastor, evangelist, or minister told you a prophecy and we didn't know about it. You didn't share it. You didn't put it on Facebook. You didn't put it on Twitter. You didn't call the news stations to come to the house. Uh, uh,
Well, Kimberly, that's the insanity of it all. When you start bringing up stuff like that and trying to get them to see the things that they are saying, they just show you their bias.
mm-hmm,
They just show you their bias. There's no way you can tell me you're a prophet of God, and then you're gonna
mm-hmm,
come out here and talk all that smack and all that stuff when somebody starts calling you out on your foolishness.
mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
And then one lady's prophesying in the chat, and I'm like, wait a minute. Talking about, oh, see this, and this she kind of scared me, but I said, wait a minute now. She gonna say, um, oh, I had a dream, or if this is going to happen, so we're going to have COVID-19, we're going to have the invasion of China, and then we're going to have World War III. And I'm just like,
And that's what they've been saying, and some of these people in these chats and things have been saying. But if we're gonna have World War III, I don't need for you to be on a YouTube channel in the chat section telling us we're gonna have World War III. Go talk to the president. If you're a true prophet,
mm-hmm.
God will make sure that you get access to the
Call the
people that you
FBI,
need to
call
get
the
access
CIA, they
to.
record them people.
Absolutely, go ahead and do that.
Even
That's
people
what.
that we think are wrong, they still get news. They still get put on the
Yes.
news somehow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, Kim. The whole thing is ridiculous. And then they get mad when you call them out on it.
And then why those two women kept calling back?
Lord have mercy. Fruits, flakes, and nuts.
It's,
That's why. Fruits, flakes, and nuts.
Daryl and Roxanne keep messaging us, and we over here on the stream.
You need to tell them you live.
I told them I was going live after the show. I'm on my phone. So if I hold on, I might leave you. Hey Tanika, we're so glad you're here.
Mm. Can you use self-rising flour to? I don't have the regular flour for my chicken. Oh no. Any cooks in the chat? Y'all need to let me know. Can I use this self-rising flour to fry my chicken? Oh
That's a
Lord.
good question.
How in the world did I get this flour? Well, I know I was gonna make some homemade biscuits, but oh man. Oh man.
Why don't you just try a little bit of flour?
I am. I don't have no choice because it's the only flour I got. Oh man.
Too bad I didn't live near you because I accidentally bought 3 times in a row a bag of flour because I kept forgetting that I had a bag of flour in my house. I got 4 bags of flour in my kitchen.
Oh my God. I'm sitting here trying to make this chicken. You guys don't realize I am starving. It is 8 o'clock and I have not eaten. I
Really,
am
I don't know if
starving.
they'll get. I don't know if they'll actually have this one day, but like it would be good if I could have like Uber Eats you some food, so when you were done, you had something to eat.
Yeah, I should have done that. I normally do that on our nights when we have our shows, but I didn't do it this time, which is my fault. I should have done it. Because normally while we're still doing our show, I'll order it. If you see me look down on my
Mm-hmm.
phone a lot of times, it's because I'm ordering the food.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the
Eddie
thing.
Truman said, "Them prophets are retarded. 90% of the prophets that has been spoken over my life has not come to pass." I can believe that.
Well, see, my thing is why we can't just say those prophecies are false and those people are false and
Yeah.
move on.
If you're
That's my
gonna have
point.
World War III, hell, let me know so I can get my shit together. Yes, you can use it.
At least pull some money from the bank. Because if we're
Oh
going to
yeah,
have
somebody
war,
named Pebbles, Renee, K Renee, Misha Williams. She was getting on my nerves with her prophecies and want to tell me thus says the Lord. Thank you for coming, Daryl. You can listen to us
mm-mm-mm.
as you fall asleep.
Oh my God, he ain't going to sleep. He gonna mess around and call as soon as we get done.
Oh, I was just like,
Mm.
these people was. I said, I know. I asked at the while. I was like, am I the one that's crazy? Are they
No,
prophesying in the chats
yeah, they're
and
ridiculous.
calling
And
out the other prophets
well,
at
see,
the
here's the thing.
same time?
But they can't get space and room in their church to prophesy for them to hone
Uh-huh.
their gifts. So they use
Mhm.
their gifts in other places and spaces where nobody really wants to hear it. And that's what I mean
Mhm.
when I say we have a crisis in truth and trust. We have a crisis in trust because who's going to trust you to prophesy? Talking about you prophesied that. What did that lady say? That judgment was coming, and she said, and the pastor then wouldn't let her prophesy. They got rid of her. Yeah, because if that's the prophecy that you giving, that judgment is coming, we've been saying that for how long?
Mhm.
That's ridiculous.
Wait. You can Uber Eats anywhere. My daughter was in Las Vegas and ordered me a pizza. Really? Is Las Vegas Mountain Time Zone or Pacific Time Zone? I wonder if it's same time zone. But we'll have to try that, Marcellus.
Hmm. Well, then you know what I'm gonna be doing. I'll be Uber sending Daryl about 12,000 chicken livers.
Oh, he'll love it.
Hmm. He won't know what to do. He'll be like,
But you know
man,
what? That also reminds me too of Victory Girl. Think about what Marvin Winans did to that lady. What's her name? Carlotta. What was her name? Carlotta or
Oh,
Carla.
I done forgot that lady's name.
And they were like, "Oh, you over there trying to prophesy? You ain't no prophet. You don't got no gift of prophecy." And then he had her removed from the church. And I always think about something like, what if she was actually giving a real prophecy, but he didn't want to hear it because it was talking about him and what he
Exactly.
needed to do.
Well, you heard him say that he's the chief prophet of the house. And see,
Yes,
that's
and
what
I
it, yeah, but that's what a lot of these preachers believe. They believe that they are the chief of everything. They the chief everything. He's a chief prophet, he's the chief preacher, he's the chief this and the chief that.
said,
And that's part of the problem.
mm-hmm.
That really is part of the problem.
You mean puppy mug? You talking about puppy cup?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
hope
didn't
y'all.
understand that. What did the lady with the money hurt? The money in the church thing. What was she say? Because two of them ladies, I didn't understand nothing they said.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I kept trying to put them on hold and tell
But
them,
you kept
but
saying,
then they got offended.
yeah, that's right. And I was like, is he listening? Is he
Mm-mm,
hearing words I'm
mm-mm.
not hearing?
No, let me tell you something. Certain things I could hear every other word, but
Mm-hmm.
I kept putting them on hold because I couldn't hear them. And I told them to move to a better place so we could hear what they were saying, but they was getting offended. The lady gonna say, "Well, that's what happens. The devil start trying to mess with the phone, and he don't want me to speak this
Oh
word."
Lord.
And I was like, "Wait a minute. No, it ain't the devil.
That's
It's
like Omar Johnson when he dropped his phone tomorrow. Is that the ancestor? Is that Mama Oya? I was like, dude, you just dropped your phone.
oh my
And if it
goodness,
was Mama Oya, she probably don't want you talking. But it's like,
just
oh, the
ridiculous."
devil don't want you to be able. It just could be a bad connection. It just could be a bad
Yeah.
connection.
And you see how laughable that stuff is when they say that kind of stuff. You just laugh. And you be like, these
And then
people
the
is
two ladies
crazy.
that left and called back. Like, no.
No, them two heifers made me mad. I was about ready to go off on them. That's why I told that lady, look here, I gotta go. You done called me twice already. I can't talk to you no more. Mm-mm.
I was like, no, no, no. And then Wallace, understand. He said, understand it. I forgot what he said. Understand it. Talking about you didn't have to say it like that or something. She said, but he
But they
comes in
just
your chat like either once in a while, blue moon, and you'll be saying something, and he wants to interject with his Bible and verse, and I'm just like, sir, this is not Bible study.
right. Well, what people don't realize is when we start talking about the scripture, what people don't realize, Kim, and you know this because you've talked to me offline. When
Mm-hmm.
we start talking about the Bible, unless we're gonna all go by the whole Bible and we're gonna take
Mm-hmm.
it all, you don't come at me with no chapter and verse because ain't nobody living the whole Bible. All go by the
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Hey, life is late.
Ain't no
Hey,
need for you to be
Pamela.
sorry. Ain't no need for you to be sorry. Life is like.
I'm sorry, Marcellus. Ooh, what you dealt with. And which part? Okay, mad church disease. Mad church disease. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
live up to that ever again, you lived up to it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mad church disease. And I mean, I thought I was in the, I did a whole week of revival because
Mm-hmm.
he had prophets, preachers, and fools. I'm like, no, we're not here for that. We just want to know if you're having all these where's the prophets at? Okay, where are they? That's what we want to know.
Well, did you hear the
Mm-hmm.
one lady say that God told the prophets not to tell us that the coronavirus was coming?
That's bullshit.
What the heck? Okay, I missed that part.
Uh-oh.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Lele talking about Marcellus cussing and I'm cussing.
The lady said God told her that the prophets weren't supposed to speak it, that we were just supposed to go through it. Y'all didn't hear the woman when
That's
they
not
said that?
what, but not what,
I
but
don't know
see,
if that was the lady
what you do is
that was
you had
breaking up or who that was, but
you know what gets me with that is that, okay, we had prophets in the Bible
Mm-hmm.
that saw things to come. God spoke to them and they saw things to come. And so what the prophets did was to go to the people and
Mm-hmm.
tell people what was getting ready to come.
Mm-hmm.
What I think with this is maybe some prophets didn't speak, but through the word, if you read the word and you really listen and listen to God and what he's trying to say, there will be pestilence, there will be famine when you start reading back into the Bible. And these things will happen. What this is that I don't believe that God wanted it to happen, but he allowed it to happen so
Yeah,
that we
because but
that
life is like you'll get a lot of people that say, of course God wanted this to happen because this has to be in the perfect will of God because it happened. And they will use that, and they've made whole doctrines out of the fact that if
but I
something does if
that
something does happen in the earth, they believe that it is in God's will.
yes, it's his will. I don't believe that God would want anyone to perish because we are his children, regardless if we are born again or if we're not. He made us. He knew us before we were formed in our mother's wombs. We have a purpose and a plan. He doesn't like death, but because of sin, there was death. So I don't think that he wanted us to go through this, but he allowed us to go through this to wake us up. That's what's going on now. That's why churches are closed. I listen to Noel Jones and I understand where he's coming from. But the thing of it is that he's crying out, where are the prophets? You are the prophet of your house. Why aren't you talking to God? Why isn't God telling you to get your people prepared? Or are you crying because your shit is locked down?
Yeah, because it's locked down, and because he's financially not able to
And
do
it's
the things that he
financially
wants to do.
not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going on. These churches are closing down. These ministers are dying by the dozens.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when you come to talk mad church disease like we do, people don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Well,
You
they don't
want to
have
go,
no choice
you
because I
want
ain't
to
going
throw,
nowhere.
no, I need to know if there are still prophets on this earth, why did they not tell us? If you are such a prophet, don't tell me on a YouTube chat. Get your ass to CBS, NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So if we are, like I said, if we're going to have World War III, I need my guns cleaned.
Right.
Hey, Uncle must be logic.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to be brief, excuse me.
No, but that's really the truth, though. And they have a very difficult time when I bring up these subjects. And Dewan and I we were talking for over an hour the other night about this topic. And he was like, Marcellus, I can't wait for you to bring this up. I said, because all I'm doing is trying to make these people understand. If you so much of a prophet and you claim to hear God's voice and you claim to hear what the Lord says, how in the world are you hearing all of this from God and you heard nothing about the corona?
These men aren't hearing nothing about nothing. I'm sorry. See, like I say, I'll tell anybody. I was raised in the Baptist church. My father was a pastor. He pastored 2 churches. But when I had to come home, because I was a musician at our church and I had osteoarthritis, so I had to come home. I had to resign. And there are a lot of things that God is showing me now that I've been at home.
Oh, yeah.
You
Because one of the
God
greatest ways
to
uh
save yourself. Because these fools in the pulpit ain't doing nothing.
the greatest way for you to see the church for what it truly is to stop going.
Stop going.
Mm-hmm. It's really
And
the
the thing,
truth.
I saw it and I was like, I was talking to, my boyfriend and I said, we had went to a church anniversary and at my old church and I waited for about 2 months and I told him, I said, I don't know if I'm right on this or not. I said, but Did you feel anything? Did you feel anything? You get up there, you say you hear from God. When you get up there and you do the scripture, or are you just throwing the stuff out to make us hoop and holler and fall out and bump our head? What are you doing? Give us a right now word. Give us a word from God. What is God trying to tell us through this coronavirus? You missed him telling you we was gonna have it.
Well, that's the struggle, and that's
But
why I brought the
like I
that's why I
said,
brought the conversation up.
you
And
lived
see, I
up
don't understand.
you lived up to it. You lived up to it. Because it was some crazy ones coming through. And then got the nerve to we want to hear your shit at the first time. Well, we want to listen to you again.
They came back.
Sorry, I didn't see that
I kept
prophecy.
thinking, like, was I mishearing things? I was
I'm
like,
sorry.
did I just hear this voice again? She come back?
Having a good time in the DMs, Marcy.
I gotta go back and read the comments because I wasn't able to keep up with them comments.
Oh my goodness, you gonna have to sit. You gonna probably have to screenshot for your. When you say you're gonna read people's comments next week. You need to include the chat too.
It's gonna be a whole show, just comments.
Someone named All Things Pamela said,
Ryan and
"Did you
stuff.
see the video of Noel and Clarence McClendon intensely talking about prophets?"
Yes, I did, and I will be addressing that very soon.
Okay.
Yes, I did. But Clarence had a very profound thing that he said in that video, and we're going to talk about it. Even though I don't necessarily agree with him most of the time, because Clarence know how to make up stuff that ain't even in the Bible. But what I
don't. You make up stuff that's all that man.
But he did make a good point, and I'm gonna bring that out. He made a very good point. So if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll be putting it on the channel soon and giving some commentary to it. But yeah, it's a good video if you haven't seen it yet. It's only about 4 or 5 minutes long.
Glad you was flicking them like roaches. I'm glad.
Who was the guy with the Run DMC glasses? Mona Love? No, we are not doing that. We're not doing that. You want to know who the guy was in the Run DMC glasses in the video?
Oh, I don't know who he was. I don't know who that fella was.
Because they all didn't have names on their Zoom thing, their Zoom call.
Oh my God. I'm sitting at 8 o'clock at night, almost 9 o'clock, finally getting to eat my food. That's a doggone shame. Don't make no sense. I could have ate leftovers, but because I had some leftovers, but I need to get rid of this chicken.
We don't know either. Do you know if there's a full video of that, of the whole video of that with him and the other ministers on that Zoom call?
Yes, I have that too. If you guys email me, I'll send you the link so you can watch it.
Okay, because maybe they said their names at the beginning or something.
Yeah, they do. Their names are there. And I tried not to pronounce that other guy's name because he's from Africa, and I didn't want to be disrespectful to other individuals. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to try to say his name, and because people get real sensitive about that kind of stuff. But I wanted to throw so many of them people off of the phone. Y'all just don't have no clue. I was like,
and I was trying not to hit that button because moderators we can hide somebody from your channel, but we can't unhide them. So you have to go in and unhide them yourself. I said, no, we're only supposed to block it. We're only supposed to delete and time them out. I get blamed for stuff that I'm not supposed to do as a mod. Let me not do that.
But look here, Kim, you know how I am. I just wanted the people to stay on topic. What I found very interesting is everybody wanted to call in and talk about everything but what we were actually talking about.
Exactly. Why are you praying? Why are you telling us to come pray at your thing? Why are you trying to talk about how you And oh Lord.
Well,
And
here's
then
the
I
part.
had people in the chat. I just don't understand. You mentioned Donald Trump, and to see black folks in the chat, I'm assuming they're black, talking about what's wrong with Donald Trump. What do you mean? What is wrong with Donald Trump?
Well, you see, I
And then
answered them, and
somebody
I
else
did.
said, "Oh, he gave I think it was Frankie. Somebody Frankie said, "Oh, what's wrong with Donald Trump?" And then you explain it, and then another person said, I think her name is Show Me Something Entertainment something. She got a long name, and I said, "Well, he gave money to HBCUs for the next
And
10
like that
years."
means something.
So I put in the chat,
I'm
I said, not all black people go to HBCUs. I went to a predominantly white institution. And I said, also, there are black immigrants in cages. There are black people in jail. There are very few black people he pardoned.
Yeah, the
So
argument
what
is
does that
very
mean?
ridiculous.
He
Yeah, the
and a
argument
few
is
black people
ridiculous.
he pardoned, only one of them I think really deserved to be pardoned. The other two are rappers who are colorists and don't give a fuck about the black community. So I'm
Right.
just like, then she was like, "Well, oh, I didn't mean no harm. We can agree to we can." I said, "Okay, we can agree to disagree and move on, so we can stop having this conversation." Because I couldn't believe talking about, oh, what's wrong with Donald Trump? You have to ask that the man incited a goddamn riot.
Well, that just lets you know some of these people are really touched.
And then she was like, "Oh, because I researched him from everyone was saying things about him, then I researched him for myself." And I'm thinking like, so you researched him for yourself, and you didn't. I just like let us stay on topic. But
Well,
I
I
just like
answered
this
the,
man said, grab him by the pussy.
but
He
I
said he would
answered her
date his
question.
daughter. On his first day in office, he banned folks from other countries, called them shithole countries.
Is
Said
that from?
the election was stolen from him.
Mm,
And I'm just like,
no.
and incited a riot. Got kids in cages.
Yeah.
But you want to ask what's wrong with him? Like someone said, what is right with him? Hey, legit doctorate.
Hey, 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 can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we can hear
can.
you.
One of the peculiar things about this whole sordid affair with the COVID-19,
Mm-hmm.
I don't claim to have any prophetic mantle. I don't function in a
Right.
prophetic office. But God told me how to prepare for the pandemic, and I didn't know what I was preparing for. God told me that the church needed to start to prepare for streaming and for 21st century ministry, and I took it to my board, and they fought me on it. They fought me on it, and just to show as the new year came in, within 2 months, we were in the midst of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't have not a camera or anything. All the equipment I own. So if I were to leave tomorrow, they would be butt out. Butt out. And yet they want first class service and why are we not doing this? Because you didn't want it.
Right.
When I tried to explain to you that we needed it, you couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
God just hadn't revealed it to you, but God told me to start preparing, and you all said
Mm-hmm.
no.
So here's the thing: when God gave you the word for preparing for the COVID, well, maybe you didn't know that it was for COVID.
I didn't. I
Right.
didn't.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing, and the lady did bring up a very good point. She said, well, we as believers should have had some indication or idea that something was coming because we all have prayer lives, etc. Right? But my thing is this: why did she put the onus on all of the believers when the fact of the matter is you're the person who says that you operate in the prophetic gift? You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing to me was, why is it always you putting it back on the person who's sitting in the pew, and you never take any responsibility for you when you claim that you got the ear of heaven? And,
Yeah.
and then here
Mm.
and then here's the other thing, legit doctorate. Another question. And you guys think I'm asking these questions to be rude or be disrespectful, but I'm being really serious. All of these people keep talking about they going into new dimensions, and you going into new portals, and you going into all of these realms of the spirit.
That's
And
not
you
what the
don't
Lord is telling me.
It sounds like some stuff from
That is
Doctor
not what the
Strange.
Lord is telling me. Let me share with you what the Lord has told me. The Lord has told me to do two things. First of all, to take our space, because we have a vast amount of space, and to convert it for training young people and older people in using modern technology.
That's good.
That's the first thing. Second thing, to take our space and create a mobile food truck ministry.
Hmm.
Why? I don't know. But I think there's going to be a food scarcity.
there is.
And the
There
church
is.
is going to be responsible for
Mm.
feeding folks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Lord has said, this is what you need to do. Now, I've got to sell my board on these two things. And all they can talk about is when we going back in the building, when we going back in the. I said, we'll be returning, but we won't be going back.
Right.
And they don't see,
Right.
and they said to me, they said, that's a mean word. That's ugly. Reverend, you shouldn't say that. That's harsh. I said, but it's true.
Yeah,
It's the
because
truth. We're
but they
forever changed. It only
yeah,
takes 90 days to form a new habit, and we've been in this thing 11 months.
but see, legit doctor, they don't have another paradigm without that building. They can't
Mm-hmm.
exist without the building. They don't understand how to live as a Christian without that building. And that's why they're like, there's no way that that could be, and that can't be a word from God to them, because they can't imagine not being in the building. Period.
Now,
And that's
now,
what I.
now you don't know how real what you're saying is. These people don't feel like that we're a church if we don't meet in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Having service online is not having service. It's not worshiping. Having
Oh
Bible
wow.
study online is not having. If we can't have it in the church, I mean, people have stopped giving. They've stopped participating, and I'm like, I'm not understanding. Well, what
Well,
is this?
but I told them years ago, legit doctor, I kid you not. If you all go back and you find those old Church Folk Revolution shows, you will hear from, I think, the year 2015 on, I told them that this was going to happen. And I've been
Mm.
telling them for years that we needed to get away from these buildings and these institutions. I went so far as to tell them, if you're going to still do the church model, you need to be a traveling church. You
Mm.
can't be a church that's in the same place every week, every time.
Like
You
a
needed to
tabernacle,
move.
like the
Right, right,
tabernacle
right. You got to
did.
move. Exactly. And they lied and they crucified me. You don't
Mm.
know what you're about. You're a novice. You don't have a clue. And I said, well,
Mm.
listen, now one thing I do know is when I hear from God. Now, and I ain't gonna tell you when I that I've heard something that I ain't heard. When I have a dream, I come to y'all and I say, this is the dream. And you know
Yeah,
that I had a
yeah,
dream about
yeah.
you. Uh,
Right, right, right.
so when I have a dream, I'll come to you and I'll say, hey, this is the dream. Now I'm still trying to flesh it out, but I was very clear with these preachers years ago. God said
Mm-hmm.
we needed to move on, and this is over. They can't imagine. They're just like, they cuss me, call me all kind of names. Demetrius Senegal got all on the program acting a fool. I said, well, you all can say what you want to, but this is over. And there are going to be many churches that do not survive this whole COVID situation, and it's
I
Mm-hmm.
and it's
said that to
rightfully
my
so.
bishop. I said a bunch of our churches ain't gonna make it. They're not gonna make it
Mm-hmm.
because they're sitting there waiting to go back. We ain't going back, and that's a reality they need to accept.
Mm-hmm.
But see, why would you want to go back? Because all you're going back to is garlic and onions. That's my thing. I don't know why you want to go back.
And,
What you doing back?
and you know what? I'm saying collaborative ministry is the way to go.
Absolutely. If you're
We
going to
need
do
to
it in the
start. We need
21st
to
century.
reach out to the other churches that are like-minded and start to work together to serve the community, to serve the people of God.
But I'm with you, Bishop. That's all I got to say, sir. I ain't got nothing else. I'm sitting here frying my chicken and getting my potatoes together because the Lord spoke to me and I ain't in no church. I ain't in a very long time. So good luck to them. That's all I can say. They still not going to listen. And poor Jamal Bryant and all of them. Sometimes I just shake my head. I be like, they got so much pressure on them, to keep these people coming and giving.
And well, they got those big old buildings with those big mortgages they got to pay.
That's a lot of pressure. And the PP loan ain't going to solve that.
Well, the PPP loan was only intended to support for 6 months, and we've been in this thing a year.
Exactly. And you heard what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden said we're probably going to be outside of, we will not be where we need to be. He's saying until like
Until 22.
September, October.
No.
And then the next year.
Yeah, 22 is what I'm hearing.
Yep. He sure did. He said it.
But Dr. Fauci has said that last year too. He said we're not going to see, we're going to be going into, we might not see relief until the fall of 2021. It's only February.
With the new strains, they're saying now.
Now they're new strains, yeah.
With the new strains, we will not be able to get back together until 22.
Yep.
And people still wanting to travel and go places. I'm like, where y'all going?
Well, why don't the prophets have a word for that? Why don't the prophets should have been out saying you guys need to be still and don't go nowhere. I ain't heard that. All I keep saying is everybody's still trying to operate just like they used to, but doing it in a different fashion. These preachers are still traveling. They still speaking at one another's churches, because they can't imagine not doing that. Oh yeah, you kidding? They're still traveling
New
around.
presence, 31. I don't know if you know about me very well. I'm an LGBTQIA ally, and so Joseph Biden, President Joseph Biden, is allowing trans to go to the military. That was actually a ruling under Obama, that because there were so many in the military who wanted to get their surgeries, and then the military commander-in-chief allowed them to do so. That was reversed under Trump, and so Biden is reversing it back when it was under Trump. So there are a lot of transgenders who used to be men who are now women. They did their years in service. They're still wanting to serve, and so they're allowed to continue doing so. Just like there are women who are now trans men who wanted to do so as well. I think when it comes to someone being in combat, you want someone who is trained to do their job.
This is the problem. We're majoring in minors and minoring in majors.
Exactly. Big time. And you know what? But you know what? And I hate to say this though, but the church has taught us how to do that. The church taught folks how to major in these little minor things. What do you care about that? What do you care about that? You're not in the military and you ain't in no ditch and they ain't trying to save your life.
Danielle, you killing me over here.
I'm just saying. If you were in the ditch or you are in the military, then just like Kimberly said, you should want the person to be praying.
You care less about what's between their legs. You want to know what's in their hands to help you.
Exactly. And then can they shoot on target? And hit the target.
That's why there's more women now being in combat as well. They're realizing like, okay, They just need to have what the skills, the ability to shoot, critical thinking. Are you really going to worry about that they're a woman?
I could care less as long as they can hit the mark.
Exactly.
Amen to that.
Yeah, but I just thought
Yeah.
I'd come and share that with you all. That
And I appreciate it, brother. You know I love you and
and you
appreciate
were on
you.
target tonight. You in rare form tonight.
Well, you know,
Mhm.
you know what, legit doctor, the only thing I'm trying to do is spark conversation. That's all. But I think these people think that I'm trying to make them, you know, change into some way of thought. No, my job is just to spark the conversation. That's it. I know what my responsibility is. That's it. That's it. Go talk to your pastor, and he'll give you the theological position that he has, and that he
Okay.
feels that you should have.
Good night, Ray of Sunshine. Thank you for coming.
Plato said an unexamined life is a life not worth living.
Not worth living. Very true. I
All
see you,
right,
Holly.
I'm gonna let
Holly
you
is.
all have it. I'm gonna go back in the
Oh,
audience.
legit doctor. Someone asked, "Are you going to be on Facebook on Sundays?"
I'm on there every Sunday now.
Okay. And what's the name of your channel?
Hearst Chapel.
Hearst Chapel. Everybody.
Um,
Hearst Chapel, Riviera Beach.
Oh, okay. Okay, understanding. No problem. We understand.
all right, Louisa, I'm gonna use this ketchup.
Victory, my daughter's thinking transition. She withdrew before base because of the horror story she heard about how the military treats them.
Chicken sandwich.
Oh, wow. Is it from
What?
people who are actually, Victory Girl, was it from people who are actually LGBTQ in the military? Or from people who heard from someone who heard from someone who heard from someone? Now, I will say this. I have a couple of students who are now in the military that I still are in contact with, and I also have a anti-fraud warrior friend who's also in the military as well. They have not told me or expressed to their parents that they're experiencing any type of horror stories on being in the military. However, I have read stories of women who were sexually abused or harassed in the military. Um, so I don't know. Uh, so I guess you got to really do some more research. However, I've read and heard that Air Force is probably treats women the best, or they have the best treatment in the Air Force. I don't know if she wants. I don't know if your daughter wants to go there. Um, but you just got to ask your daughter: does she really want to be in the military? Because her transitioning should not stop her from doing so. And you might need to see if can she transition after a couple of years in the military. I don't know. But I think the military actually pays for your transition. I'm just saying. I think it's in the benefits. It is something to think about.
But Kim, were you surprised by some of the responses we got from those people? I wasn't.
I knew, like, I was expecting some of the people we had before, and for people like, oh yeah, these prophets, these prophets, prophets. But I wasn't expecting you to come in there and tell us about the prophets you like. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, see, here's the problem too. The Christian church, it creates an environment where everybody wants to be the prophet.
Oh
Everybody
wow.
wants to be the pastor, and nobody wants to function in their individual spaces and places.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to call into my show to tell me you a prophet or you had a dream about Katrina.
Someone, oh yeah, I'm sorry. The lady said, yeah, I had a dream, and 2 days before Katrina, it was gonna happen. And I'm thinking to myself, the Weather Channel told me there was a hurricane coming. Because I live on the Gulf Coast,
So you went
and
from
the
a
news
prophet.
stations are telling me. So the
Well, she,
God told you
but she went from being a prophet to a meteorologist.
exactly. It's scared her. I don't blame her. Tells her what she wants to support. That's true too. That's good, Victor girl. Whatever she decides she wants to do, you'll support her.
That's Megan Stallion. It's such a crazy song. Anyway.
The body song,
Hmm.
body yada 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 yada.
It's on the TV. Well, Kim, I
Oh,
just wanted to
somebody did you
join
hear
you.
about what happened with Megan Thee Stallion? So, well, the guy that shot her, he was in, I guess, on that new app called Clubhouse, and they said somebody asked him, "Why you shoot Megan Thee Stallion?"
Did he answer?
No, he got off and canceled his
Oh,
account.
that's messed up.
Like, dude, they asked you one damn question. But my thing is, like, why are you surprised? You got on a Clubhouse app.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. All these celebrities can be reached now.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I didn't understand them. The lady said she was talking about a picture of a book. And so I walked because I had stepped away. I came back and I was like, what book is she talking about? And she talking about Bishop Jordan. And they're like, no, it was a Dean Koontz book.
Oh, don't even get me started. Oh, and now, Kimberly, you gonna make me hang up. Did you hear what
I'm
I asked that
sorry.
woman? I say, is he a prophet? Well, no. Well, then why are you bringing it up? That's not what we're talking about.
Oh my goodness. That is
It just annoyed me. That's why I was like, okay, gotta go. Next caller. He wrote the book in 1981. Okay.
okay.
Well, I'm gonna eat the rest of my food. You all enjoy your night. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. You have a good
Hmm.
night. All right. The Dean Koontz book. All right. Anybody else want to come up? I'm gonna put that in the chat because I was just like, let's reading stuff in the comments tonight. It was just out of this world. I'm like, are these people really? Are they for real? Are they trolling? Are these church trollers? Are they really? They really do believe this? Like somebody named I think her name was Brooklyn. She was like, yeah, my pastor told us about the flu back in the 80s. And I'm like, okay, we've had bird flu, swine flu, Ebola, and COVID-19. Which one was he talking about? I'm just saying. Oh, Jessica, you're talking about the Caney girl or the Misha girl or the Millie 5757. Yeah, she said the flu. She said, "Oh, um, my pastor back in the 80s said it was gonna be a flu pandemic or something that's gonna, I guess, spread." And I'm thinking like we've had the bird flu, swine flu, we've had Ebola and COVID-19. But which one was he talking about? Okay, I'm gonna give you 7 minutes. Thank you, Money No Love. Lord, they really done had to. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Thank you, Mona Love. This is someone fact checked the lady that the book didn't predict COVID. Okay. Oh, the R one. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's about 500, 550 tonight. Yeah. And these people who think Noel Jones and Prophet Brian Corn and uh uh what's that guy, Joshua Holmes and Juanita Bottom, they think those people are false prophets, but they don't think their own pastor or evangelist is one. It's kind of like how people think about people in Congress. Everyone thinks everyone in Congress is everyone thinks Congress are full of crooks, but they don't think their particular congressman is a crook. So she called in and lied, another false prophet. Jazzy, who called in and lied? But COVID stands for coronavirus uh immunodeficiency number 19, I think. But we've seen enough movies called Breakout, Generation Z, where they've had a breakout of a disease, and Resident Evil, you know. Oh, the woman about the Dean Koontz book. Oh. Hey, understanding.
Hey, I'm trying to mute my YouTube because I think I still have
Okay.
my YouTube open. I do.
Oh,
Okay, that's better.
yeah.
Okay. Just wanna thank you. Forever and ever and ever. Okay. I'm gonna act right because I just I don't have no liquor. You know, um, to get me through this night. And, you know, Pro Life is lay and Moni, they had got to see a side of me, you know, that they wasn't ready for.
They probably
Because
had an inclination though.
I don't know.
Wait, what you told that Wallace guy? I said,
No.
what is the Wallace
Oh
guy
no.
talking to you?
No,
And what I don't know what it is. Is it because they really they want to holler at you and they feel intimidated, so they feel like they gotta talk to you crazy? First it was the other guy in the chat, Rarity Gospel. And then today it was Wallace. I'm like, what is going on with these
baby.
men?
Right. Like I'm like, so look. And see, this is the part that behooves me. Okay. Like seriously, this is what happened, and this is what really threw me, and what really just got down deep in my spirit. Like today was a really hard day for me, and if you notice, I was really somber. Like I have
Hmm.
really, even on Roxanne's show the other day when that woman told us fuck us, okay? I have
Yeah,
really.
that lady the day before yesterday. Or was it Monday?
It was. I don't even remember when Roxanne put us out there to get fucked. Monday. Like I have not been cussing at nobody. I have not came
Okay.
for them.
Excuse me, understanding. Brooklyn, I don't deny that he told you that. you said he told you the flu, but what I'm saying is, was he really saying a real prophecy? Because there's been different types of flus that have affected people. To me, I feel like that's very general.
Okay, so what's
And was
Brooklyn
he
issue?
really talking about the one that was happening in that community at the time? Or was he talking about ones from years from now? Because we've had swine, bird, Ebola, and coronavirus. And there's probably been things, you know, that has happened in other communities.
Is Brooklyn the one that read Jonathan Living Seagull online?
No, I think, was that the K Renee or K something lady? I don't know. It was so
Okay.
many in the chat was saying stuff. I don't think Brooklyn said that.
Okay. And Brooklyn, I'm sorry. You know what? Let me back up before I make another person mad tonight before the night is over, Lord. Brooklyn, I'm sorry, because I don't know you. And I don't want to offend you. Because apparently I'll be offended rating people without intent. So it, so literally, the man in Marcella's chat, right? Let's start there. Because first of all, I thought it was a woman. Okay, let's just start there. I thought it was a woman. And he, she, him, whomever deleted half the comments before y'all could see it. And that's what I was trying to show y'all in my inbox. That the initial was like, hey, what's up? Can I get your email so we can talk? Then I never responded. And I wasn't not going to. I was going to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just didn't have a chance to. I fell asleep. So I come back, and then I'm like, the comment that I made wasn't even shade. It was literally, so for everybody who want to know what I'm talking about, y'all, Marcellus did that video on Batman with the Cape of Justice, aka Marvin Winans. And all I said was, all I said was, I asked a stranger, not even this person, basically, in a nutshell, I asked, was preaching entertainment? And someone alluded to that preachers should get paid like entertainers. And I simply said that preaching was not entertainment. That I do
Mm-hmm.
believe that the work that they do deserves payment, but the
Mm-hmm.
preaching part is not entertainment. It can be
Yeah.
likened unto, because they didn't got to that point, but that
Mm-hmm.
preaching in and of itself and rendering of the word is free. That's a gift. It should not come,
Mm-hmm.
and the prophecy should not be released at a cost. And so then this person, the Bible, because that's what they picture is the rare Bible, comes in and then says, oh, well, the regular preachers get 10 grand and the popular ones get 25. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
see, that's a problem in and of itself. At no point am I like, ooh, well, I know you lying, or ooh, F you, or ooh, I hate you, or ooh. I ain't say nothing, but that's a problem
You
in and of itself.
didn't, and I read it too. I'm putting the video where you have to go down to where it says Dashika Dillon,
Yeah.
where she talks about entertainment is preaching entertainment, and then in that comment thread is a lady named Gwendolyn, and then understanding responds to her, and then this other person named Rarity Gospel comes in and said what he said, and then I'm just like,
And the next thing
uh,
you know, right, like next thing you know, all I said was, ooh, that's a problem in and of itself. This joker comes back and says, it's women
mhm,
like me who don't know how to stay in our lane. And 10 minutes
mhm.
later, I got fatherless sons. I'm a whole hoe out here. I
Oh
don't know the
yeah, he
Lord. I
no no
lack
no. This is what he
respect.
said. This is what he said.
Baby.
He said, "I don't." He said, "You need an attitude adjustment." He said, "That's the problem with women like you. You don't know how to talk to a real man when you see one. You're used to talking to fatherless sons." And I was like, and I put in the chat in the thing. I said, "Excuse me, sir. Did you just tell her that she needs an attitude readjustment?" And I think, did you tell her that she doesn't know a good man when she sees it? And I said, did you tell her that she's used to talking to fatherless son? Because I don't want to misconstrue what you're trying to say, you know. And I said, because it seems to me that you're the one who needs the attitude readjustments. And I think maybe you need to log off and go talk to your mama So you know how to talk to women offline and online.
And literally, y'all, before he came back and made that clap back, I
Uh-huh.
specifically said, I apologize. If y'all notice, because just like in this last chat with Kay Renee, I have been apologizing to people if they misconstrue my words because I know I talk
Mm-hmm.
fast. I know I talk quick. So because I have been in my own little valley of emotions lately, I kind of been like, okay, well, I realize that everybody don't understand the way I talk. So if you haven't been around me long enough, then sometimes even when I'm playing, you might take it seriously. You might be like, "Oh, she coming off kind of extra rough."
Mm-hmm.
So if I think that when he came back the first time and was like whatever he said, I said, "Oh, well, I wasn't coming for you. You know, like I apologize or whatever, but I really wasn't directing the comment at you. It was just a general comment in agreement with you, and so my apologies, whatever. Like I'm humble, whatever. You know, no problem. Like no offense." He comes back with that, with me and my fatherless son, and
Mm-hmm.
da da da. And then I'm mad because I'm like, and I wrote a comment back. He then goes and reports my comment,
Oh yeah.
has it
I was
removed.
like,
I make a comment back to his comment. And I'm
mm-hmm.
basically like, unless you know me personally, or you've been between my legs, what are you talking about? And the one thing that everybody can emphatically say about me, to be
Mm-hmm.
true, is that when it comes to men, I always stand down. Now, women, that's another chapter. But with men, especially with Marcellus, anytime Marcellus is on this panel and whether we disagree or agree or whatever, I will always stand down. So I stand down to great men all the time, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And so I certainly know great men. And then I was like, and it's to speak to my spirituality and what I do or don't know. He don't know who I was raised under. He don't know who
Mm-hmm.
my spirituality, like women. What are you talking about? And then I said, well, I didn't even know that you were a man to begin with. So whatever the case may
Yeah, you
be,
didn't know he was a man to begin with.
like I had no
And I
clue.
knew it was something gonna pop out because I saw the first comment and he said, "Oh, you need to watch how you talk to me." And I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, sir, we're typing.
Right. And
And
that's the
like
other
you
thing I
told him,
said.
we don't know your tone.
Right. I was like, I could have taken everything you said as disrespect, but the misogyny in which you're speaking and the illicit comments in which you're making, no, thank you. And then he was like, oh, well, my spirit was disturbed and vexed when you started typing. And I said,
Then
well, my
and
spirit,
now. Like
right. And I said, my
seriously?
spirit is concerned that you claim to be a man of God and your discernment couldn't discern and decipher that I wasn't coming for you and that I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but don't even elaborate or explain. So he has my comment reported. So after I've already screenshotted everything and sent it over, because I'm like asking Kimberly, and I'm like, oh my God, am I tripping lately? Like, am I doing
No,
something
you were
wrong?
not. Like I was reading what you said. I was like,
And they're like,
she,
no. And so he reports my comments, then comes back, edit his comment, then come back, make another comment. And every time I try to reply, he reports my comment. So finally, I make this comment and I just say, P.S. And by the way, at the end of the day, like, I just want to say, simply put, how do we go from you want to talk to me in the inbox and send me the email or send my email or whatever to now I'm disrespectful and all these other things and I'm not with God and yada yada yada. Like when did that come into play?
mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
Kimberly and all of them respond and I will try to reply again. My like keeps report my comments, y'all. Like keep reporting it. So I'm already like at this point just
Oh.
like, what am I doing wrong? So I go back and amend my comment finally one last time. It finally goes through and that one doesn't get reported, but I had to amend a comment that I made already. And I just go back and say, like, literally, I've never disrespected a man of God. I never would. And as far as my spirituality, I play all day, but please don't ever come for me about what I know that I know that I know that I know. And when it comes to God, I literally am a living testimony. And like
Uh-huh.
we play all the time, but we never had a conversation. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've never been on a panel other than when we do like Marcel's Facebook Live. Like the other day when he did the live, when somebody came for him, when he talked about in the beginning. And like now in that live, I think Moni was there and I don't know who else was there, but like at that point, that's when you got to see the other side of me, the real spiritual side
Mm-hmm.
of me, the one that know the word and that can quote the scriptures and whatever. And so I'm like, stop playing. Like we're over here. This is where we let loose. This is where we have fun. This is where we talk about
Mm-hmm.
things. This is where we have opinions. This is where we get to be like free and whatever. So stop playing. And all the
Mm-hmm.
jokes I was making, even tonight, when that, so I was already upset about that. Then we go from that to watching your video, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna shut up. Like I'm gonna be good tonight because
Yeah.
I'm
For those
already
of you who don't
emotional.
know, I put a video in and I'll put it in the chat. Because we're actually planning on talking about it on Saturday night for Ladies Night. Because it seems like the last couple of weeks there's been this attack on Black women in their bodies. Like we just can't be our free selves. And so this one particular video is body camera footage of a little Black girl, 9 years old, basically being manhandled by the police because her mama, who are also partly to blame for the incident as well, who calls the police on her daughter because her daughter is, she said, was going to harm herself or other people. So instead of like them sending out maybe a mental health officer or a counselor or someone, or even like an ambulance people, they have, the medical stuff. They sent the police. The police is like basically manhandling a little girl. They don't know how to uh, deal with this little girl basically having an emotional episode, and they handcuff her and they pepper spray and put her in the back of a car. And
Right.
I'm just
And
like,
that was triggering.
so
Like
that,
that was
yeah.
crazy. And then we go from that, like literally, so we go from basically dealing with this dude to
Mhm.
now dealing with that. Then we walk into
Yeah.
Marcel's thing, and I already knew, like I said, when I saw Victor, I'm like, listen, I can't promise you that if somebody says something, I'm gonna stand down. So then this K person comes at me and she's like,
Mhm.
don't mock the Lord. And when that host, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, not host, Lord,
She
I'm
was
sorry.
like,
When her said, the holiness of the holy is gonna judge me, nigga, what?
"Oh my Lord,
Nigga,
they
what
be
is
so
nigga what?
serious."
And I was like, nigga, wait, what? Like the holy who? And so and then again, and here I go, like hear me go, hear me go in my Andrew Caldwell voice, hear me go, saying who are me to misconstrue. So me says, wait, when you say the holiness of the holiness, are you referring to you or the Lord? Because I'm over here joking, and I said, well, there's mocking and then there's comedy. And me was playing, but
Mm-mm.
me gonna stand down. So her says, with the love of the Lord. Well, in loving kindness, I am just saying that the Lord is indeed, and you need to pray about it to the Lord in prayer, and you need to, and I say it in love, and so you should consider it because the holiness of the holiness is looking down upon you, and the hands of the and I'm just like, okay, so friend, here we go. Like, I know you playing with me, right? Because at the end of the day, that's the whole both ways
Mhm.
lie. Second of all,
Mhm.
when did you become God? And third of all,
Mhm.
if that's the case, the holiness of the whole, know that all these hoes is on here lying. Like I said, this one time in
Mhm.
Bandcamp, they is all making this up. This one time in Bandcamp, they lying, friend. This one time in
When you wrote
Bandcamp,
that, you wrote that. I said, "Damn."
Hey,
because I'm
ladies.
dismayed. Because it's like everybody got on it this one time in Bandcamp.
Hey, Jazzy.
My
Hey,
pastor had said in
how you
kindergarten,
ladies doing?
Jazzy, I'm gonna shut up because like my nerves be ye oh so ready. Like for real,
No,
because
but
they
I
just
called
sounded
in
ignorant.
because of that. But first of all, hey to how you all doing? This is Jazzy K. I'm so happy to be on with you guys, with you
I'm so
Listen,
glad to have
ladies.
you here.
But listen, but what she did that with the intent to antagonize you, and you played right into her hand. What you have to do with people like her that act so super spiritual, you ignore the hell out of them. That irritates them. I had to learn that the hard way. I'm a preacher's kid. I grew up in church. I
ditto.
haven't uh, I haven't attended a physical church in almost 7 years because I want
Mhm.
nothing else to do with it because of all of the stuff that we talk about here on this program with the A team. It's just a lot of confusion. But people like her will come, they will scroll comments to see, okay, let me see who I can pick. And that's what I was saying to Victory before.
Mm.
Don't respond to her anymore. You're doing exactly what she wants. She wanted attention. She wanted a response. If you would have ignored the hell out of her, she would have went away.
Mm.
See, well,
Because the
here's what
same
happened,
thing,
and
and
I did walk away.
The thing with the Wallace
Oh,
guy,
this
I
nigga.
picked up that immediately. As soon as I saw he went after you,
Hello,
Hello,
she went away.
Jazzy. Maybe she froze. Jazzy?
No, I'm still here. No, this
Oh,
thing
okay.
shut down on me. It put me on timeout for a second. No, I was saying the Wallace guy. I saw that as soon as he sent you a response, as soon as you came back in, I'm like, okay, either she said something to him earlier and she didn't say what he wanted, or
Mm-hmm.
she didn't respond the way he wanted because he kind of told on himself. And then
Well,
they
Mm-hmm.
so
kept,
here's what I figured about him. This is what I thought maybe. I thought that Wallace might have been Paper Bible Save that came for me with the alias.
it could be. It
And
could be.
then I thought
Mm-hmm.
if it's not that case, we've seen Wallace before because Wallace always
Mm-hmm.
pops up in Marcella's thing all the time. And
Yeah, for him,
typically
it's
Wallace,
always in Marcellus.
right, and typically Wallace will speak to me and agree with me when I'm being extra and think I'm funny. But literally what pissed me off and what irked the depths of my soul tonight too was this. I literally, when I said, try the spirit by the spirit and see if it is of God, I read it verbatim from the doc. Like I was looking at it in the NIV version as I said it. So when everybody was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's not what it says, I'm like, fool, this is the translation of it. And literally, everybody that got in there trying to correct me, I'm like, emphatically, I am reading what it says. Y'all can all
Mm-hmm.
read different translations of
Y'all
it.
must be reading King James. You know, some people
Right,
think
but
that
all
King
the
James was it.
translations mean the same
Same
thing.
thing.
And so no matter how you trying to write this vision and make it plain, it literally, emphatically is synonymous and means the same thing.
But
So for
understanding, you know,
you,
as well as I know, people are so
Jazzy?
oh, I think it's
oh
like,
Lord,
I get
this
what she's saying.
okay.
It's like timing her out and bringing her back. Okay.
Yeah. If you say one word different, it's like, oh my
Right.
God,
You
you
done
have
rewrote the vision.
you're taking the Bible out of context, and that's not what's happening. And I mean, as many translations of the Bible that's out there, nobody is going to verbatim quote the King James all the time. I don't read the
Mm,
King James anymore. I prefer the Message Bible. The Message Bible is
Yeah,
easier for me
Message
to
Bible.
understand and
Mm-hmm.
read, you know, but I still I will refer back to the King James so that I can get a better understanding of what he was trying to say
Hey,
in my
Sharon
own
Cali
study, you
girl,
know.
glad you're here.
But that's just what I wanted to
And
call in.
Christine, and I know I called his name, and you know why I called his name, and that's the crazy part. When I called his name, I still wasn't coming for him. My calling his name was like to say, "Hey, friend," because I had already reposted the scripture. So my calling his name was to acknowledge him and say, "Hey, like this is me really saying." I'm not trying to be asinine. Like, you know how there are those people who like justifiably try to like justify their bullshit, like all them other people that like the
Right.
Hurricane
But at the
Katrina chick
time, you were
that
still
was trying to
talking to the
justify her
art woman.
BS.
So at the time, you were still talking to the art woman, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
bam! Then here comes his comment, and I'm
Right. So
like,
I was
okay,
just responding because I wanted him to know that I was acknowledging him. And then in my ignorance, I also did it because if you remember, and this is what I make a bad habit of, which is why I said, which is why you heard me say in the end that the people who are regulars, because this is what I have a bad habit of. And this is a Leo trait, I'm sure. Like we are loyal to a fault and we want people, we like record everything. So
right,
because Kimberly had mentioned in a previous show about us acknowledging people. So in my head, I was already still coming for Kate, right? I was already still mad and had downloaded all these other things and frustrations. So in my head, I wanted to address Wallace and I didn't want him to think I had ignored him or that I didn't see his point. So me thinking that me and Wallace ain't got beef, or like that, hey, in the past, we never had beef. So I'm like, hey, by the way, Wallace, it is in John. And I left it, like I'm leaving it there, like, hey, it's in John 4:1. Like, boom. Now moving right along. Like, okay, hey, I heard you. Boom. Like it was like a I see you, I'm not ignoring you type thing. Like it was
right,
not a I'm coming at your neck.
hmm,
It was like, hey, I see you, so don't feel left out. Like in my head, other people would love for to be acknowledged. Clearly, Rare Paper Bible Saved wanted to be acknowledged. So, it's like in my head, I'm doing the right thing. And then you come back talking about, oh, well, clearly you were bothering clearly. Rah, 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 rah. But you're right, Christine. It just triggered it even more. And then by the time I got back to the comments, I see now that Victory Girl, Terry, everybody has defended me against the K person. Then I'm so mad because I'm just like, how dare Kay in her whole righteousness and whatever? Because while she's so busy telling me what the holiness of the holiness listen to, the holiness of the holiness is listening to all you people get on this line and lie
Yeah.
about prophecy. The holiness of the holiness is listening to this to somebody Amy and grandmama and them get on here and read Jonathan Livingston Seagull talking about this Jonah in the belly of the whale. Okay? The holiness of the holiness is
No,
get on here
but
listening to
they
American
came out of the
Pie
woodworks
talk
tonight.
about this is a prophecy.
They came out of the, and I applaud Marcellus so much. He was such, he handled himself so well. I told him in the comments, I just said, listen, big bro, you handled it tonight. You did not lose it. You did not waver. You just took it and you was so professional about it. And I know that the Holy Spirit was literally chaining down his tongue because that person inside of him was yelling, let me cut these mofos out. Let me get them. Let me get them. And the Holy Spirit said, no, you're going to sit here and you're going to go through and you're going to be calm and you're going to handle it. Because you're not going to give in to that. You're not going to give in to that. So I applaud him for that because some of these people was just stupid as all out. Like the lady that called in and said she got the warning about Katrina. Okay,
Oh my goodness.
Kim, I'm going to apologize in advance. That bitch should have been slapped. I'm sorry. Because if you got the warning 2 days before, then your ass should have been on every news station saying, hey, there's a hurricane that's going to kill 5,000 plus people. Get out now. So I that was stupid. Then the other lady that told him to let me finish, she would have got the hang up. And I was standing there, I was applauding him, going like, oh my God, he didn't hang up on her. He just stayed quiet and let her finish. No, she would have gotten the hang up.
Exactly. And that was the killer. That like it was just so annoying that they missed the entire point. And that was the thing that they're all sitting here telling us what we need to do and what we need to say. But y'all are talking about words that God gave to y'all individually. Y'all are
Mm-hmm.
talking about things that God gave to y'all.
And who was the
And
woman that
y'all are
called in
calling
for
it
the prayer
prophecy.
line? What was that about?
Oh
Baby,
my good. Like,
What
why
was
was she?
that?
all y'all need to
Why
take
are
y'all
you
clothes off,
using
tie
this
y'all heads
as
up,
an
put your scarf.
advertising moment?
Child, put your scarf on the nightstand tonight. Put your drawers over Juanita Bynum's
What
side
was
of the room.
that?
Get some pine salt, get some oil,
It's about
and let's
God
run.
told me to tell y'all we need to pray. So I'm going to invite all of y'all to pray on March 17th. And I said, wait a
At
minute
1
now.
p.m. in the choir stand, take your weaves out if you got them. Put your baby toe in the water and
I
don't
mean,
brush your
some of
teeth.
these people I was just laughing at, but then others it was like, oh my God, okay, he
Then the
deserves to
lady who
cuss you out.
said,
He
I think her
deserves to
name
cuss
was
you out.
Missy Williams. She's the one that had the whole paragraph. I'm like, yeah, the Lord told me that there's going to be sickness and disease, and then China's going to invade, and we're going to have World War III. And I said, ma'am, are you being funny or
My
facetious
favorite
or
one was I
sarcastic?
call
Are
back,
you
but hang
being
up on me.
serious?
My favorite
Huh?
was I call back, but hang up on me. I ain't really want nothing. And no, I don't live in Houston, but I don't live in America. No, I don't live in Mexico. What?
No,
Like
but
this?
he does need to look into how these people were calling back so quickly. So he does need to look
Mm-hmm.
into that because
Yeah.
either they're using several phone numbers or they may be using their cell phone and a home phone. But he does need to look into that because I was like, okay, didn't you just call? Because I know I heard your voice.
Yeah, March 7th prayer call. Like, why are we
March
calling?
7th, we had, what date is it? What's today? The 4th? Okay,
February, yeah.
we still got another month and 3 days. Come on,
Why
please.
are we got to call March the 7th though?
Exactly. I don't know what that means. So, but anyway, ladies, I just wanted to call in and just give my little comments. But
Well, thank you for
understanding,
coming up here.
yes, next time, stay in the fellowship hall, please. Please stay in the
So,
fellowship. Listen, no, 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 no. Victory girl, you had her running around. I know you owe her a pair of Louboutins because she was running around after you. I
it's
told her
Moni's
to
fault.
I
I
told
want
her
you
to
to just
lock
blame
you
Moni too.
in the
Don't leave
fellowship
Moni
hall
out of
and
this.
take your keys I said, lock her in and take her keys. I don't care what she says. No, we're not waiting on Pooh Bear. Put her in the fellowship hall and let her stay there. Who let her out? As soon as
Moni
I
don't
said,
love. It was Moni. Moni had pushed me out.
Moni's
mm-mm.
probably thinking like, what are you talking about?
Moni pushed me out,
You
Jasmine.
swept my feet and you kicked me and then you ran out of the fellowship
All
hall.
I know, you owe Victory Girl a pair of Louboutins because that poor baby was running around after you. That armor bearer was running around after
She
you.
was trying.
That was
Shout out to
just, yeah.
Victory Girl.
So,
Listen,
ladies,
Victory girl, tell Bishop, send Bishop your requests. Put it
all
in the
right.
prayer. Put it in the prayer request.
Yes, girl. Send him that request quickly. All right, ladies, you all have a good night.
All right, you have a
Good
good
night,
night.
beautiful.
Bye.
Okay, ladies, I'm getting a little bit tired myself. I know we probably can go on another 30 minutes, but I
Go
think,
to sleep. You done yawn. You gonna
yeah, I
start
done yawned
snoring
a
in a
few
minute. No
times.
ma'am. No ma'am. The people don't need to hear that. We done heard that one time. We don't need to. First of all,
Thank
y'all
you,
know I ain't got no
entertaining
news.
First Lady. Thank you, Jazzy Carrot, Victory Girl, Mono Love, yours truly, Christine. Who else? Terry, Sharon, Cali Girl, Terry Hughes. I think I saw Jacqueline Vines in here earlier too. Thank you, Matt Church. He was gracious with your presence while he was cooking his chicken. Hey, Brooklyn. Thank you for coming. Speaker to Roxanne, who is now a new member. Thank you. So y'all have a good night. Tomorrow, Friday Night Live will be on Roxanne's channel, Speak Your Truth with Roxanne. And then she's also coming again on Saturday, I guess around 4 or 5 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. Eastern. And then we're going to have Ladies Night, a really interesting discussion because we're going to talk about Black women in their bodies. It seems like a little Black girl got manhandled. Another Black girl was basically getting body shamed for dancing, being a free Black woman, a free Black girl. And then another Black girl, got revenge porn against her. And it's just like, why are y'all doing these things to Black women's bodies? We just want to be happy and be free. So, y'all have a good night. Have a good Friday. Thank you so much for supporting all Mad Church Disease, Roxanne, Daryl, and myself. Y'all all have a good night. Bye.